If you are past the age of 18 and you consider yourself a bad boy, you are a loser. Yes, you are. For today's video, I have something very fun prepared. Today, we will be ranking romance book tropes. The categories in which we will categorize each book trope will be this ones. The lowest of the lowest is going to be called Calling 911. FBI, open up! The next one will be I don't get the hype. Next one, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it and I'm tired of pretending it's a good book trope. I'm tired of it. The next one is going to be been there, done that. This one is book tropes that I have experienced for myself. Next one is going to be only in a fictional world where I am YN. The next one is going to be I'm open to it. And then the final top one is what I deserve. The love I deserve. This is what I want. We're starting off strong with the category of only one bed. Okay, so this reminds me of that movie The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan something. The movie is basically like she's Canadian, he's American. She needs a visa to keep working in the United States. So she kind of fake dates him, which is another category. But I remember there's a scene where they have to sleep in the same bedroom and there's only one bed. I don't know, I feel like it depends. Like, if I like you, I'm going to be like, yeah, this bed is big enough for both of us. If I don't like you, baby, you're sleeping on the floor. I'm gonna place only one bed into I'm tired of it. Because in what situation are we living that there's only one bed? Like, I'm not live, laugh, loving it. Next category is grumpy and sunshine. Now, this is every anime couple. There's a grumpy one and there's a sunshine one. I feel like I've experienced this grumpy sunshine type of situation, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't get the hype. I understand that opposites attract, but at the same time, we cannot be that opposite to the point where we're completely different. Does that make sense? I feel like I like more somebody that he's opposite to me, but we also share a lot of things. But like the grumpy and sunshine trope sometimes gets a little boring. The next category is love triangle. I'm gonna say this, the only way I will be okay with a love triangle if it's me and two guys. There's no way that I'm gonna have a love triangle with a guy and another girl. No, why would I do that? Where does that benefit me? I'm sorry to say it, but I'm tired of it. I feel like every 2000s and 2010s movie was about having a love triangle, and I'm tired of it. It's not as interesting anymore. Okay, so for the next one, we have a very popular trope in every social media. Enemies to lovers. Okay, this is my problem with enemies to lovers. If you are my enemy, it means that I don't like you. And if I don't like you, you must suck. Because I'm those type of people that I like to get to know a person or try to understand them before I say I don't like them. And not only romantically, but when you're meeting somebody and you're like, oh, this person is nice, or this person I don't really click with, I try to give everybody a chance to show themselves, right? So if I don't like you, it's because you truly suck. My point is, how can we go from being enemies to me thinking that you are the best thing on this planet Earth? I don't see it. And then I think about, like, in my personal life, the people that I don't like, and I cannot imagine myself liking them. No. So I'm gonna place enemies to lovers into I don't get the hype. Don't be mad at me. This is my ranking. Next, second chance. I'm gonna say this. There's no way in hell I'm giving you a second chance. And let me tell you why. Especially if you were the one that broke up with me. Because what we won't do is you go outside of the house, go and have your fun, go and play in the mud, and then after, let's say, 6 months, you want to talk about, oh, let's get back together, I realized what we had. So now, after you got all filthy outside, you want to get back inside the house like nothing happened? Not a fucking chance. I feel like the only way that I will be willing to give a second chance to somebody if we broke up because of things we couldn't control, like, oh, it was outside of our hands and we just had to break up, I will consider it like giving a second chance. But if it's some petty shit and then you want to talk about getting back together, so this one I'm gonna place place it into I'm tired of it. It's a very reoccurring trope that happens a lot in real life, and I'm sick of it. Next, we have a very controversial trope on the online community, the age gap. I feel like sometimes people online make age gap a bigger deal than what it is. Like if it's a 4 or 5 year age gap and they're both adults, it is what it is. But let's take it a step further. Let's talk about 100 years age gap. Let's talk about 150 years age gap. Let's even talk about 2000 plus year age gap. Now, obviously, this is in a fantasy world, right? Because if somebody is 100 years older than you, they are probably dead. Unless they're a vampire. But that's what I want to talk about the fantasy of it all. If it's 100-year-old vampire that wants to be with me, I hate to say it, but my answer is yes. Hey, you will do it too. So don't even try to come for me talking about, well, actually that age gap is so problematic. No shit is problematic. It's a 100-year age gap. But guess what? It's not real. So the extreme age gap, I'm going to place it in only in a fictional world where I am YN. But being true, if there's a guy that wants to be with me and he's the same age as my dad, for me, that's where the age gap becomes a problem. If you and my dad are the same age, or you're closer to my dad's age than mine, if you could be my dad, I'm sorry, but my answer is no. Okay, so the next trope is slow burn. Talk about me having a favorite. It's just so good. Whenever I read a book or something, a fanfic, that it's a slow burn, I love it because it gives you so much tension throughout the whole story. And then when something finally happens, let's say they touch their hand like this, you're like, oh my god, I love it. I'm gonna play slow burn into the love that I deserve. Okay, fake dating. This reminds me of that movie, The Proposal. My question is, why are we fake dating? Like, what happened? I need context. Depending on why are we fake dating, I'm going to say yes or no. I'm gonna say only in a fictional world where I am YN. Next one is friends to lovers. I have two scenarios for this one. First, I have the one where you meet somebody, you become friends, and then lovers. And then I have the one where you've been friends since like school and then you become lovers. This one, the first one, if you meet somebody, first you're friends and then you become lovers, that's what I deserve, okay? Because if that happens, you get a lot of time to actually get to know that person and then take it a step further. But if it's me with somebody that we were friends since middle school and then suddenly we became lovers, that's a no for me. The next one is marriage of convenience. Now, I'm guessing this is something like an arranged marriage. Again, I need context because is it convenient for me or is it convenient just for you? You see, if it's convenient for me, then okay. But if it's like convenient just for you and I'm not getting nothing out of the situation, this one is so, I don't know, it's very fantasy-like. So I'm gonna place it in only in a fictional world where I am YN. Next one, we have fated mates. I believe this is something like soulmates. If it is, then that's the love I deserve. I don't even want to talk about it too much. It's what I deserve for my soulmate to be with me. I feel like that's pretty obvious. Next one, we have forced proximity. Now, when I read this one, I thought about Alice in Borderland. There's a scene where they have to like camp in a tent. I feel like I don't mind forced proximity. It can be cute. Depending on the situation, again, I need context. I'm gonna place it into I'm open to it. Next one, we have fast burn. Girl, been there, done that, hated it. I'm going to tell you this. It doesn't last. It burns very quickly and then it dies down. Something that doesn't last doesn't give you any stability. Next one, we have work rivals. So work rivals reminds me of enemies to lovers, but in my opinion is better because if we are work rivals, it means that maybe we are both trying to get the same position at work, right? Something like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like you personally. Now, I haven't experienced it. Well, I have, but it wasn't cute. I experienced it with this guy. He was like my supervisor and he was just so fucking mean all the time to me until one day I popped off and he got like a little bit shook because he was not expecting me to talk back to him. And ever since that day, he was trying to look for mistakes that I have done just so he could have an excuse to tell me like, hey, you shouldn't do this and that, you know? So my work rival experience wasn't like romantic at all. And I didn't feel it like work rival because again, he was my supervisor. But putting that aside, side. Work rivals, I think I'm open to it. Like, I wouldn't mind it if it's like a friendly competition. And obviously this is romance book trope, so it would mean that we like each other. I wouldn't mind it. Next one we have is rich and poor. So I'm assuming I'm the poor one because I am the poor one. I don't know, being with somebody rich, sign me up. Only if I like them, you know, only if we get well together, if we like each other, if we have good chemistry, if there's something going on, then I guess sign me up. Amnesia. Okay, so this reminded me of that movie, The Vow. I don't know, it's just so tiring to watch, and I cannot imagine the person that's living through it, like not the person that forgot, but the other person, the one that remembers and has to like do it all over again. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the light on because it's cloudy outside and it's getting a little bit dark. So this amnesia trope seems very unlikely. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not going to say like, oh, it's impossible for that to happen in real life. No, it's not impossible. It's unlikely. So only because of that, I'm going to place it only in a fictional world where I am YN. Next one is arranged marriage. Okay. Now, girl, like, what are we doing? Are we living in the fucking 1700s? What's the reason? Why are we arranging a marriage? It reminds me of the other one, of marriage of convenience. Are we arranging a marriage because it's convenient to you? If it's convenient to me as well, then I might hear you out. But if it's only convenient to you, no. And then it seems like in an arranged marriage, I wouldn't have a say. And then what if I don't like my husband? In those arranged marriages, it's very unlikely that the husband that they give to you is Keanu Reeves. It's always like some old crusty dude. Ugh. No. I'm calling 911. Call 911. FBI, open up! Next one is academic rivals. This is very similar to work rivals. If I had an academic rival, I expect him to win. Because if I win, I will look down on him. I don't care. I don't care. If we are academic rivals, you need to be better than me. I don't know. I like people that are smarter than me. I don't know why, okay? I don't know. When I say academic rivals, I'm not talking about history class from the 9th grade. No, I'm talking like university level, girl. Not to shit on 9th graders who are taking history. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have experienced this. I feel that I liked him only because he was so smart. That sounds wrong, but he was so smart and I was like so in awe. I don't even think I was a rival to him, if I'm being honest. I feel like I have experienced this to an extent and it was a good experience. I don't know. So yeah, been there, done that. It was okay. Next one is accidental pregnancy. Immediately no. What do you mean you accidentally got me pregnant? I know it will be my fault as well, but I wouldn't do that. Like, knowing me, I wouldn't let you accidentally get me pregnant. And accidental pregnancy, you are threatening my life. Yeah, yes you are. So you want to threaten my life with a child? I'm calling 911. That's what I'm doing. Yes, calling 911.
Calling the police.
Next one, we have stalker. What is this? Joe Goldberg stalker? Like, he's actually a serial killer? I know that a lot of people say like that John Deere or whatever. It's kind of cute. It's not. Having an obsessive stalker, I'm calling 911. Next one, we have mafia. Okay, I feel like almost all of AO3 fan fictions are mafia coded. They love the mafia trope on AO3. It's just what it is. It's just like, why? Why are you in the mafia? And why am I getting involved with you? Like, it doesn't appeal to me. This trope is only appealing in a fictional world if I am YN. Because who do you think you are? The Godfather? Being in the mafia? Pablo Escobar? No, girl. Like, in real life, I'm calling 911. Next one, we have forbidden love. So again, I need context. Why is it forbidden? If it's forbidden because we are family, like, what the fuck? That would be incest. That's disgusting. But if it's forbidden because our parents don't want us together, so again, context. I need context. Depending on the context, right? If the context is something tame, I'm going to place it into I'm open for it. Next one we have is a reverse harem. This is so anime coded. This is so YN coded. Harem will be like 5 guys at least, right?
That's the one in 5 guys. She ain't talking about burgers. I pull up with 4 friends and that pussy get murdered.
Honestly, if that happened in real life, I think that would be very overwhelming. Like 5, 6 guys are trying to get with me and this and like, ugh. But in a fictional world where I am YN and the possibilities are endless, that could work. Next one, we have CEO. Yeah, I'm open to it. I don't even have to think about it that much. So you're a CEO and I'm the secretary. That's what I'm imagining in my head. I feel like that's every K-drama.
Video mami, Este comentario me acuerda a una mujer que yo tenía que se me murió de hambre.
Coño, ya empezó las notificaciones. No joda.
Pues sí, este comentario me acuerda a una mujer que yo...
Next one, we have bodyguard. I don't know, again, it seems very unlikely for me to have a bodyguard. Like, first of all, who am I and why do I have a bodyguard? What's the situation?
I am sick of this conversation, David, and I'm not having it anymore. I know what you want. You want a family, children, you want to be a father. I can't give that to you. Because I can't have kids, David. Because my tits are guns. Look out! Assassins. And plus, you're trying to get reelected next year. What do you think the Democrats are going to think of you marrying someone who's constantly bearing arms? Or in my case, tits. I think we should keep this relationship strictly professional, Mr. President.
Because it's very unlikely I'm going to place it under only in a fictional world where I am YN. The next one is the bed. The first thing that went to my mind was that Harry Styles fanfic movie. It just seems so high school coded. It's very young, immature. I'm tired of it. It's not giving what it's supposed to be gave. You are a loser. You are a loser. Yes, you are. Next one is brother's best friend. First of all, if you are my brother's best friend, it means that you have a lot in common with him. And I don't like my brother. So why would I like you? It's a little bit Sigmund Freud coded. If you look like my brother, you look like me. So what's going on here? So I'm going to say I don't get the hype. The next category is holiday. So I'm guessing Christmas. This is so corny already. I'm going to say I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing this holiday Christmas romance movie every Christmas. The next one is small town. When I think of small town, I think about where I'm from. And I think about dating somebody from my town. And as soon as I think that, my answer is immediately no. What's the appeal here? I don't see it. I'm going to say I don't get the hype. The next one is he falls first. Immediately, that's the love that I deserve. I need you to worship the ground that I walk. I'm not taking nothing less. You need to fall first and you need to fall hard. Next one is damsel in distress. Again, I'm thinking about every Disney movie. You know what? Low-key, sometimes I'm a damsel in distress and sometimes I need to be saved. Sometimes I want a man that saves me. Is that bad to say? And I'm just going to say only in a fictional world, only because it's called damsel in distress. So it makes me think that I'm a Victorian era lady having a problem, you know? Yeah, low-key, sometimes I want to be saved. Sorry, sometimes I get tired, okay? The next one we have is doctor and patient or nurse and patient, right? What in the Grey's Anatomy is going on? I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't get the hype. It's kind of tired. The next trope is best friend sibling. What I understand here is that my best friend has a sibling and I like him. That reminded me of this K-drama called Something in the Rain. I feel like it will be uncomfortable for my best friend because she's the one that is now in the middle of the situation. I don't know, I feel like we need to talk it out and see how it goes, but I'm open to it, but I will be very cautious about it. The next one is best friend X. Immediately, no. I'm calling 911. The next one is nobody thinks it would work. I need context. Why do people think it won't work? What did they saw? What do they know about you and what do they know about me? What's the problem? But at the same time, sometimes people give opinions when nobody asks them for an opinion. And that's the truth. So I'm going to say that I'm open to it. The next one is I'm not good enough. Let me tell you this to the girlies out there. If a guy tells you I'm not good enough for you, leave him. I'm not good enough? What are you talking about? I'm not dealing with a guy that have self-esteem issues. Like, I'm not here to be your cheerleader. I'm not here to be your therapist. Work your shit out. If you haven't worked your your shit, your internal shit, you should be alone and try to figure that out. But don't go and get into a relationship with somebody and then start talking about, I'm not good enough for you. That's lame. I'm calling 911. Next one is step sibling. So what in the is going on here? I'm calling 911. What are you doing? Next one is one night stand. Immediately, I don't get the hype. You don't get nothing out of it except for that one night. Next we have Vegas drunk marriage. So that immediately reminded me of that Cameron Diaz movie with Ashton Kutcher where they get drunk and then they get married. Or Hangover where the dentist, he marries a stripper. I feel like I will be very scared if that happened to me, because I was so drunk and so out of myself that I got married. I'm going to say only in a fictional world where I am who I am, because in a fictional world this could be fun, but in the real world this will be a fucking headache. So the next one that we have is if I can have you, no one can. I'm calling the police for this one. What do you mean if I can have you, no one can? It's giving insane. It's giving crazy. No, I'm calling 911. The next trope is love potion. Just by reading this, love potion, this is so magical and fantasy coded. In a fictional world where I am who I am, let's do a love potion. Next one, long distance relationship. Girl, I'm tired of it. It doesn't work. Next one is return to hometown. No. So I'm returning to my hometown and I'm connecting with you. I don't get the hype. Next one is bad boy. Listen to me. Bad boy is only cute when you're in high school. If you are past the age of 18 and you consider yourself a bad boy, you are a loser. Yes, you are. You are a loser. What are you talking about? Really? You talk about yourself like, yeah, I'm a bad boy. What? I don't get the hype. Next one is one-sided love. This one is tough. I've been there, done that. I've been there where I like somebody and they don't like me back, and then I've been there where somebody likes me and I don't like them back. This is so uncomfortable. You know, this person has feelings for you, but you're like, man, I don't see you like that. So yeah, I've been there, done that, and I hated it. Next one is afraid to commit. I'm tired of it. A guy that's afraid to commit, it's so unattractive to me, because why are you afraid to commit? Because you think you can get more girls or something like that? Because that's usually the reason. You really think you're all that? Immediately no. Next one is celebrity. So this one I feel it will be like a different game, because if he's a celebrity, it means that he's probably famous. People know him. People want to know about his private life. A lot of people ask him questions about his private life. A lot of people doesn't see him as human. So I think this will be a different type of approach. But honestly, I'm open to it. At the end of the day, that celebrity, it's still a human being. The situation around them might be very different from what I'm used to, but it's not that big of a deal, I feel like. So yes, I will be open to it. Next one is dark past. Okay, what is the dark past? I need context. Because if your dark past is that once you stole some bubblegum from the gas station, who cares? But if your dark past is that you committed a crime, like a real crime, ugh. It also reminds me of bad boy. I don't get the hype. Next one is a man in uniform. Now we need to clarify here. What uniform? Because I feel like the only men in uniform that I have found attractive are these edits. So I guess it depends on the uniform. It depends on if you have a mask on. I'm going to say this one only works for me in a fictional world. And then the last one we have is size difference. I don't know what to say, because when I think about size difference, I think about this. Now, what are you doing? I'm calling 911. What is that? So yeah, that was me placing every romance book trope in a category. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree. But remember, this is just my personal opinion, okay? So there's nothing right or wrong. It's just all for fun. That's going to be all for today, and I'll see you when I say yeah, okay? Bye!